Agenda Setting Theory by Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw. So, what is the agenda setting theory? Basically, this agenda setting theory refers to how media news coverage determines which issues become the focus of public attention. This agenda setting theory was first introduced by Walter Lippmann's book Public Opinion in 1922. The idea of this theory was spread by the young professor, which is Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw in 1972. There is three types of agenda setting theory, which is the public agenda setting, the media agenda setting, and the policy agenda setting. Next, the main concept of this theory is the ability of media to determine prominence of issues with news through a cognitive process called accessibility, which is the process of retrieving an issue in the memory. This theory also influenced by a person's perception to certain beliefs. So, how this theory works? The theory put forward the idea that news media fits public agenda by making people think things they want to show. This theory also holds intense media attention in case of certain topics, issues, and individuals. It has the ability to tell us what issues are important and has a very powerful influence of the media. In other words, we perceive information the way mass media want us to know. Basically, agenda setting theory is a function mostly in mass communication and the media. We, as the audience, use agenda setting theory to describe important events that we have not personally witnessed. Next, the media as the medium to use agenda setting theory to inform us on what they think is important to our society. The common application of the agenda setting theory will be found in the political ads, election campaigns, public relations, and many more. As for the example, media is talking about heavy floods that currently happen in Malaysia. In instance, the media already inform us on the things that they want us to know, which is the current situation.
Social cognitive theory. Albert Bandura is known as the father of the theory. The social cognitive theory explains that children learn by observing and modeling the behavior of others. In 1960 it is known as social learning theory. In 1986, he renamed it social cognitive theory to emphasize the major role cognition plays in encoding and performing behaviors. He said that human behavior is caused by personal, behavioral, and environmental influences. He conducted a Bobo doll experiment in 1961 to observe how children imitate similar aggressive behaviors after watching an adult act aggressively towards a Bobo doll. There are two types of learners. One is inactive learners, children learn through actions they take. The other one is vicarious learners, children learn by observing others. There are three types of models: a live model, parents, friends, celebrities, verbal instruction model, teacher, and symbolic model, fictional character. There are four stages in modeling process: attention, the model must get the attention of the individual; retention, the information or behavior must be retained, stored, for use later. If not retained, it's in one ear and out the other; motor reproduction, the individual must be able to reproduce and preform the behavior observed or modeled; and motivation, the individual must be motivated to imitate the behavior modeled. There are two types of motivation: reinforcement and punishment. Self-efficacy, individuals' belief about their ability to do a specific thing. This belief helps determine how people motivate themselves and behave. How does this theory apply in reality? In a classroom, when a teacher pronounces a phrase during the class, students pay attention to what a teacher says. Attention. Then a student will process the information and tries to remember it. Retention. When the teacher tells the student to repeat the phrase, the student will imitate the phrase that the teacher mentions earlier. Motor reproduction. If the student pronounced the phrase correctly, they will be rewarded. Reinforcement.